Yo, YouTube, how the fuck you doing, baby? We're back again with another video. So, today, guys, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate all the support, all the love, man. You guys continue to just give me. Like I said, I want to continue to pump out content more consistently. I just been kind of thinking about doing different things. Video breakdowns are cool. I love doing them, but I want to make sure that we can provide I can provide all around content to kind of help you as like a player be better. So just been kind of thinking about things, man, and trying to figure out how I want to kind of do things. So we'll just be experimenting for a little bit, just kind of seeing what works. Lately I've been thinking about what has kind of made me a good player, what makes other players who I look up to good, and you know, it's a lot of things, man. It's practice, mindset, self-reflection, all those kind of things. So today, let's just kind of see if we can get into maybe just 5 things that you should have as a good Apex player, especially if you're trying to climb the ranks. You know, I would say diamond above is where you kind of want to have a good, solid mindset. Guys, but before we start this video, just want to, like I said, thank you guys for all the love and all the support. Be smashing the like button for me, sub if you're not subbed. Like I said, all that kind of stuff helps. So let's just keep pushing forward, guys. By the way, I stream on Twitch, Kiss Prodigy, KIS Prodigy on Twitch. Also, I'll put a link down in the description if you want to support me. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's always greatly appreciated. So thank you guys. Let's get to it, bro. So the mindset to have as a good player to succeed in high tier Apex. So these are the kind of like the 5 things that worked for me. And also I've noticed in a lot of players who I look up to, whether that be, you know, Hal, Taisheen, Shiv, just a bunch of guys, man. So number 1 is confidence. A lot of players say to have confidence, but they don't really necessarily go into depth as to what that really means. So what does it mean, right? When a player says you need to have confidence, that means you have 100% like a surety in like your ability to kill anybody who's in front of you, make the right plays for the most part. Your movement, you feel good. You're not missing steps, wall bouncing, whatever the case might be. You put yourself in the right positions, and you don't feel like you are less than whatever enemy comes in front of you, right? You always want to feel like you're better than whoever's in front of you. But you can only do that and have that type of confidence if you practice on your game. A lot of players don't play enough. A lot of players don't actually practice on their aim, watch VODs, to be able to look for like the holes in their game. So a lot of players don't have that confidence in their ability because they don't do anything to actually improve their ability. But for the players who practice, for the players who work on their game, you have that, you can build that confidence a lot faster that way, right? And that's the way you should be doing it. But for a lot of you guys out there who may not necessarily know what that means to have confidence, that's what I mean. That's what a lot of players mean. Practice on your game to the point to where you don't think about certain stuff. Practice you know, looking for holes in your game. We all have shortcomings. We all aren't the best at everything. Even if you're a pro player, even if you're a high level player, you know, diamond, masters, pred, we all have holes in our game. We all have things that we don't do well and that we can do better. So acknowledging that and then working towards that will eventually give you that confidence. So, number two, you are equal to the guys you look up to and are worthy to be with them. This is a huge thing for me where I came to the decision after just grinding and practicing so much that I came to the mindset that I deserve when I'm in those lobbies with pro players, top streamers, or even just good players in general, that it's where I belong. I don't look at those situations as I'm lucky to be there. I don't look at those situations as um I'm just there to tag along if I'm there for the ride. I look at it as I worked my ass off and I deserve to be in those positions. And you have to look at it that way. I've played Apex since season 0, from console into PC. And there's been so many guys when I solo queue, like just random teammates, who when they see a top name in the lobby or a top name team in the lobby, they don't believe that they should be in the lobby. They don't believe that they're gonna win. They don't believe that they have the ability and the skills to match up to those players. And as a 3-man team, when you have 2 of your players who don't think that they're worthy enough to be in those lobbies, you already lost. You've already lost. So having the confidence in your own ability, like I said, number one. Number two, knowing that you're worthy to be there because you put in the work and the time. Those are 2 huge things. So number 3, always look to communicate with your teammates, even if they don't talk back to you, right? That's a huge thing that really pisses me off when I play ranked, so especially when I'm solo queuing, is the lack of communication. I think there needs to be some type of system in the future of Apex where you have to sign off on what you're willing to do at a certain level in a ranked. Like once you hit diamond up, there needs to be like a checklist where like it says like you have to say like, yeah, I'm willing to communicate and use my mic to talk. Like there has to be something like that, because me personally, I don't understand how the majority of players who I play with in diamond lobbies and up stop communicating. It's like when you're in gold to platinum, almost every team communicates and talks. Even if they're not the best, they communicate and talk. And then it's like when you get to diamond and above, it's like the players, it's more important in those lobbies, in diamond and above lobbies, to communicate, because you're going against 3 stacking teams who are high level players. So in my mind, it's more important to communicate in those lobbies. And for some reason, players at that level, they just don't communicate. So I try my best to, and like I said, it can be discouraging. And you get to a point where like you go through enough teams where like they don't talk, so you just like, you know what, I don't want to talk either. But you sometimes can miss out on maybe a team who they're just shy. So if you talk first, then they'll maybe feel comfortable talking. So try to communicate as much as possible. Even if some players don't talk, sometimes they can hear you and they rather just hear you and then play off of what you're doing. So try to always communicate as much as you can. Even if it's something so, in your mind small, it's huge for the game. Number 4, don't hang on to each game's performance. Try to keep it moving. That's a huge thing too. You want to be cognitive of how you're playing. Yes, you want to be aware of what you're doing wrong and what you're doing good each game, right? You want to be able to do that because you want to be able to build upon your performances each game. You want to do that. But what I mean is, don't try not to beat yourself up about having a bad game, right? Especially if you know you're better than that. You know, you're better than that one game. Try not to beat yourself up over it because it's going to trickle down to your next performance. You always want to kind of like keep a mental note as to what you could have done, but don't pressure yourself too much to where you get depressed and it affects your performance. So you want to always try to keep it going, keep it moving. Know what you need to do mentally the next game, and then get that performance out of your head. Get to the next game. It's a new, fresh game. A lot of players that I know, a lot of my friends that I play with, they get very much into their head. They can't escape the last game that they played, right? If it was bad, and they continue to keep playing bad, and it affects not only them, but it affects the team. So I see it all the time. So guys, like I said, if you've made it this far, man, I appreciate you. Hit the like button, bro. Subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. Let's get to the last point, guys. Point number 5 is, at the end of the day, you play for you if your teammates, and I emphasize if your teammates are throwing. What I mean by that is, because this is confusing, but you will hear a lot of players who solo queue tell you this. When you're playing solo queue or you're duo queuing, if you're a good player, you know what another good player is. If you start off a game and your teammates land super high, I'm talking like there's 5 teams going to 1 POI, and you know for a fact that you're not going to land early, and you're not going to be able to get guns to fight these teams, what's the point of forcing it and landing with them, right? Those are the kind of teammates that are just throwing just to throw, right? You might be diamond, they might be platinum, right? You might be D4, D3, they might be plat 4. And it's 2 to 3 weeks into the game, into the new season. Mentally, you have to know that if it's been 2 to 3 weeks and those players are still at a certain level, 9 times out of 10, those players are going to stay at that level for the majority of the season. They're not going to progress like you are. Normally, I make diamond within the first week of a season, and I'm solo queuing for the most part, right? So I can make diamond pretty much the first week of each season, each split, each season, whatever. And I play with a lot of players who they cap off at either gold, they cap off at either just platinum something. They never get past that, right? You can't allow those habits to keep you where they are. If you know that, okay, we landed in a good area, we got good loot, and I know certain zones, if we get there early, we'll win the game. Even if we're not getting kills just yet, if we get to this POI first and set up, we're good. And the teammates that you have want to go to some POI like Lava Siphon or even Frags, and they want to fight like 5 to 6 to 7 teams, and you know that then you're not going to make it out. Even if you're a good player, like, you just know you're not going to make it out. Don't do it. What's the point of following these guys who you know are just going to stay at the same level for the rest of the season? That's the reason why they're staying at their level for the rest of the season, and they never progress, because of the plays that they're making. The decisions that they're choosing to take are not high level decisions, especially if you know what the right move is. So that's what I mean. But if you know off the rip, you got good teammates, right? You can tell they loot quick, their movement's good, their aim's good, they know how to talk and communicate, or even if they don't communicate, they know how to play off of each other, then you play with that. You stick by each other and you try to play as a team. But if you know off the first couple of minutes or seconds that the players that you have on your team are not good, and no matter if they talk shit to you, if they Don't talk if they don't use their mic the whole game, and then as soon as they make a bad decision, they want to open their mic and talk shit to you. As long as you're making the right decision for you and you're going to progress, do what you gotta do for you. Don't be afraid to do that. So there could be more things, but I think these 5 things, in my opinion, are key things for top level players. If you're solo queuing, or even if you got a team, to get you to where I think you want to be. Because these 5 things have gotten me to where I wanted to be. Mentally, you need to go into each game, and if you don't have any of these 5, you need to start building these. If you got maybe a couple of these, you need to get to all of these. So guys, like I said, man, this is a quick video. Just wanted to get you guys kind of seeing where I'm at mentally as a top tier player, and as what other top tier players do. Guys, appreciate you guys so much, man. Love you guys. Links down below. I'm out. Peace.